All right, welcome back. In this lesson, we are going to start designing our precious UI. All right, so let's start with the game panel. The game panel will contain all of our game elements. So yeah, let's start designing it. Under the main canvas, let's right click and select UI, panel. Okay, cool. So let's rename it to brackets, maybe game. It's a convention I like to use. Whenever I make a panel, I put it under brackets so that I know it's a panel. Perfect. Let's remove the background sprite. Let's make the panel transparent like so. And we want to prevent the raycast target here. We don't want to click on the panel because it will prevent us from reaching the keyboard, and that's not what we want. Okay, cool. Let's change the sort order of the canvas to 1 so that it's rendered in front of the keyboard because the keyboard has a sort order of 0. Perfect. Then we can drag our try word button and drop it onto the game panel. Cool. After that, we can add a component to our game panel, which is the canvas group component. It's a cool component that will allow us to show and hide different panels in our UI. So we can diminish the alpha and change the interactability of all of the elements inside of this same panel. Cool, isn't it? So we are going to start by adding a button at the top left of the screen, which is going to be the back button. So let's add a new UI button. Let's call it back button. Okay, perfect. Yeah, let's click on the anchor option, press Alt on your keyboard and click on the top left corner. Perfect. We are going to press F in the scene view just to have a better view of it, just to focus it, and maybe bring it a bit down and a bit on the right. And we are going to change its dimensions, so maybe 675 by 75. Yeah, I think it's good. And also maybe 75 on the x-axis and minus 75 on the y-axis. Yeah, maybe a bit on the right. Yes, something like that. Maybe a bit down. Yeah, minus 90 maybe, and 90 on the x-axis. Perfect. So let's remove this, or maybe just add a small element, just that so that we know that it's the back key. Okay, we are going to improve the graphics later on, don't worry. Next, we are going to create a new container for our coins. So let's create UI, image, and let's call it coins container, like so. We can change the color. Yeah, let's drop it at the top right of the screen before changing the color. So anchor it again. Maybe we can have the same position. So minus 90 on the y-axis and minus 90 on the x-axis. Let's focus it. Okay, perfect. We can change the sprite to make it a bit more pleasant to work with. So let's stretch it a bit like so, make it a bit smaller maybe. Okay, cool. We can change the color to black and diminish the alpha so it's better. Okay, perfect. All of the things that I'm doing now, you can do them by your own. It's like just preferences and choices, you know. You can follow along or you can do it to your own taste. Okay, so for the coins container, we are going to have a new image, which will be the coin image, okay, or icon, and we are going to lock it to the right of the container, maybe make it a bit smaller, and change the icon or the sprite to something like this. I like this one. Okay, let's make it yellow so that we know that it's the coin icon. We can also preserve the aspect of the image. That way, whenever you stretch it, the image won't stretch with the rect. Okay, it will always keep its proportions like so. Perfect. After that, we can add a new text mesh pro. So let's grab it from maybe the word button. So let's duplicate it, drop it onto the coins container, and we are going to rename it to coins amount. This will allow us to display the amount of coins the player has. And we are going to stretch it maybe along the left bound of the container, make it a bit smaller, like so. We can also make it a bit smaller. Yeah, I think we are good like so. So let's say we have 400 coins for now. Perfect. We can also set the minimum size to 1. That way, whenever, let's set 18 for now and increase the amount of coins we have. So if you have that much coins, it's going to overflow. But if you set the minimum size to 1, well, it's not visible and you won't have that much coins, but yeah, it will scale better actually. So again, it's my preference. You can do whatever you want here. Cool. After that, we can add maybe 2 more things, or yeah, let's add the score. We will add the hints buttons later on. So let's add the coins text. So we can duplicate the coins amount text right here and drop it above under the game object. We can call it score label, like so, and dock it to the top of the screen. So now it's not visible because it's covered by the notch. So let's bring it down a bit, like so. Let's make it a bit bigger and call it score. Perfect. We are going to duplicate it, make it a child of the score, and make it maybe bring it down, sorry, and make it a bit bigger, but not that much. And this is going to be the actual score. So maybe let's say 59 for now. And let's call it score amount. Yeah, score amount is good. And then you can play with the sizes and so on to make it your own tastes. So we are going to dock it to the bottom of the score label. Okay, like so. A bit bigger. Maybe we can increase the size. Yeah, that's the maximum. Okay, cool. So now we have our score, the coins container, the back button, the try button. We can add the 2 hints buttons next to the try button. So there will be a letter container hint that will display a letter that is actually contained in the secret word. And there will be another hint that will turn some of the keyboard keys gray so that the player knows that these specific keys are not contained in the secret word. Okay, let's do them. So we can duplicate the back button for that. So Control D. Let's call it hint, or maybe keyboard hint button. Okay, like so. And we are going to drop it at the bottom of the screen at the same height of the try button. So let's dock it to the bottom, like so. Position 211, and maybe make it next to the try button. We can change the sprite to something more rounded for now. So let's find a circle. Perfect. We can also change the icon, or maybe just keep it without any icon for now. We are going to add one later on. Make sure to preserve the aspect of the image again and make it something blue or whatever you want. Okay, let's make the other hint now. So duplicate, bring it left a bit and change the color. Awesome. We now have our 2 hint buttons. So this is just to have a basic idea of the overlay of our game panel. But next, in the next session, we are going to make the level complete panel. Okay, this will help us advance a bit on making our core loop, because the level complete panel will have the next button. Okay, let's rename this one quickly. So letter hint button, and we are good to go. See you in the next lesson.